قال الله تعالى: خلقت عبادي حنفاء، وما دامت فطرة فإنها قابلة لأن تنقل إذن، تقبل النفس أن تتقبلها من أي وعاء. ولذلك نقول هذه الفطرة بامتياز قابلة لأن تحمل عبر الوسائل الحديثة وأن تنقل عبر الوسائل الحديثة. ثم العالمية، من خصائص الإسلام أنه دين عالمي. قيم الإسلام قيم عالمية. يا أيها الناس إني رسول الله إليكم جميعا وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين إنا أرسلناك للناس كافة. ما دام أن هذه القيم للجميع فلا بد أن يكون الوعاء واسعا، ولا أوسع من الوسائل الحديثة في هذا الزمان. نحن نريد أن نوصل هذه القيم لمشارق الأرض ولمغاربها، ولذلك لا بد لنا أن يكون عندنا من الوسائل ما نستطيع أن نوصل به هذه القيم إلى تلك الآفاق. ولذلك إذن التقنية الحديثة مهمة جدا في نقل القيم الإسلامية في زماننا المعاصر. أيضا من قيم الإسلام، القيم الإسلامية، أنها قيم ثابتة، الثبات. وهذا الثبات يعني أن المضمون لا يتأرجح، أن المضمون باقي. وهذا أيضا يساعد في نقل هذه القيم من حيث المضمون، من حيث الجوهر، فإن هذه القيم قيم ثابتة، وكلما كان المضمون ثابتا سهل أن تتعدد وسائل نقله. كذلك هذه القيم قيم مرنة ليست جامدة من حيث الوسائل. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام كان يخطب على الجذع، يتكئ على جذع. أتت إليه امرأة فقالت: يا رسول الله، إن لي غلاما نجارا، فيمكن هذا الغلام أن يصنع لك منبرا. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام أخذ منها هذه الفكرة، تقبلها صلى الله عليه وسلم، وخطب عليه الصلاة والسلام على ذلك المنبر الذي ما زال يتجدد ويتطور إلى يوم الناس هذا. ومن هنا أخذ العلماء المصالح المرسلة، المصالح المرسلة الواسعة. الصحابة الكرام رضوان الله عليهم جاءوا بالمصحف بعد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، جمعوا القرآن بعد النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام، عرفوا أن هذه وسيلة مناسبة لنقل الدين في ذلك الوقت، وأن هذه الوسيلة وإن لم تكن على عهد النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام ولكن الوسائل لها أحكام المقاصد. ديننا دين اجتهاد، الاجتهاد من قيم الإسلام، وهو أصل التغيير في الفتوى وأصل التغيير والتجديد لهذا الدين، تجديد في الشكل والمظهر لا في المضمون والجوهر. ثم هذه كلمات النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام يقول: أنصر أخاك ظالما أو مظلوما. هذه العبارة كان يستعملها العرب تدل على العصبية. أخذ النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم هذا القالب وأعطاه مضمونا جيدا صالحا. ما هو؟ قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام: أنصر أخاك ظالما أو مظلوما. قال الصحابة: كيف ذلك يا رسول الله؟ كيف ننصره وهو ظالم؟ قال: أن ترده عن الظلم. إذا لم يجد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم حرجا في أن يستخدم القوالب التي كانت عند الآخرين، بل القوالب التي كانت عند الأعداء يستخدمها النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام بعد أن يفرغها من المضمون الفاسد ويحليها بالمضمون الصالح. وإذن فإن هذه الوسائل كلها تصلح لأن تنقل دين الله سبحانه وتعالى. ديننا دين شامل، وهذه أيضا من قيم الإسلام. دين يتكلم من العلاقات الدولية إلى بيت الزوجية، لا يمكن إطلاقا أن تحصر الوسائل في نقله. ولذلك نقول إن التقنية الحديثة مهمة جدا في نقل القيم الإسلامية، لأنها قيم واسعة، قيم شاملة للحياة. وما دام أنها قيم شاملة للحياة فلا يمكن أن تحصر في وسائل معدودة. كذلك من قيم الإسلام قيمة التوازن، قيمة فيها توازن. هذا الدين فيه توازن، وهذا التوازن يعني أن القيم كلها تتكامل وليست تتدافع. فعندنا الاحتشام، الحشمة والحرية، هذا يستدعي شيء من الحرية أن تنسلخ عن الاحتشام، والاحتشام قيمة عظيمة وقيمة أخلاقية وقيمة ذوقية، ولذلك فالإسلام يزاوج بينهما، لا يقلب قيمة على حساب الأخرى، وهذا التوازن يجعل هذا الدين دينا دقيقا فيه دقة، وهذه الدقة توفرها الوسائل الحديثة. الوسائل الحديثة، التقنية الحديثة فيها دقة في النقل، ولذلك نقول إن هذه المواصفات لقيم الإسلام تجعل هذه القيم قيم من الواجبات الآن أن تنقل عبر لغة العصر، وهي الوسائل الحديثة. طيب، ما هي الفرص التي توفرها الوسائل الحديثة في نقل قيم الإسلام وتعزيز هذه القيم في نفوس المسلمين؟ أول فرصة لهذه الوسائل التي تقدمها هذه الوسائل في تعزيز قيم الإسلام أنها فيها سهولة ويسر. قضية السهولة واليسر في هذه الوسائل، يمكن جدا أن أطلع على المعلومات الإسلامية، على الأحاديث النبوية، على الآيات القرآنية التي تدلني على كيف أمارس الحياة. ولذلك هذا اليسر لو وجده العلماء من قبلنا مع الهمة التي كانت عندهم لا أضاف ذلك إلى التراث الإسلامي كثيرا. تصور أن من العلماء من وقع في أخطاء بسبب أن المعلومة لم تكن بين يديه. ولذلك هذه الوسائل الموجودة الآن في زماننا توفر المعلومة بسهولة، وكذلك تعرضها بسهولة. غيرنا من أراد أن يطلع على ديننا، أراد أن يتعرف علينا مسلمين، فإن مجرد المحرك يمكن أن يطلعه على كم مقدر من قيم الإسلام. إذن هذه فرصة عظيمة الآن من أجل نشر هذه القيم عبر الوسائل الحديثة. كذلك هذه الوسائل توفر التفاعل. الآن نحن نتكلم ها هنا ويشاركنا أساتذة أجلاء وعلماء فضلاء من ماليزيا ومن غيرها. نقول هذا التفاعل ما كان ليتم لولا الوسائط الحديثة. ولذلك فإن العلماء منهم من كان يقول أن الإجماع انتهى زمنه ولا يمكن أن ينعقد في زماننا هذا. لماذا؟ يقولون لأنه تقطعت بالناس الأوصال والبلاد اتسعت ورقعة البلاد الإسلامية كثرت ولا يمكن أن نعرف آراء العلماء في كل مكان. نقول إذا كان ذلك في زمانهم، الآن في وجود هذه التقنيات الحديثة يمكن أن نتعرف على العلماء وأن نتعرف على أقوالهم، وهذه من الفرص العظيمة التي يوفرها أو توفرها هذه التقنيات. كذلك التفاعل، وكذلك قضية التعليم عن بعد، التعليم لهذه القيم عن بعد، والتعليم للعلوم الإسلامية عن بعد، بل هنالك كليات وجامعات الآن تدرس عن بعد. هذه أيضا من الفرص التي تتيحها هذه الوسائل الحديثة. التراث وحفظه، حفظ التراث، يعني الآن المكتبات صارت يمكن أن تحملها في اسطوانة صغيرة، USB صغير يمكن أن يحمل كما هائلا من المكتبات العلمية. وأيضا هذا التراث نحن نحتاج إليه في نقل هذه القيم، وكلما كان ذلك ممكنا وكان ذلك ميسورا، لأن المسلم ماذا يفعل أصلا؟ المسلم يأخذ من المصدر الحقيقي، من المادة الخام التي هي كتاب الله وسنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. ولذلك نقول هذه أكثر الأشياء الفرص التي تتيحها هذه الوسائل الحديثة. لكن هنالك معوقات. أول المعوقات أن هذه القيم حتى تنقل عبر الوسائل تحتاج إلى انتشار هذه الوسائل، وللأسف الشديد فكثير من بلاد المسلمين فيها تخلف تقني، كثير من بلاد المسلمين فيها تخلف تقني، وهذا التخلف التقني يحول بين كثير من المسلمين وبين استعمال هذه الوسائط، ولذلك فينبغي أن نعالج هذا الإشكال. وكذلك من الإشكالات الكبيرة أو من المعوقات الكبيرة الداخلية أن هنالك روح انهزامية عند كثير من المسلمين، كثير من المسلمين ينظر إلى هذه المتغيرات الحديثة وينظر إلى هذه الأشياء التي يخرجها العلم على أنها عدو، ولا يتعامل معها التعامل الصحيح الذي أمر الله سبحانه وتعالى به. ولذلك لما يأتي الراديو في أول ظهوره كان كثير من المسلمين يحرمه. هذا التلفاز لما ظهر في البداية كثير من العلماء أفتى بأن هذا لا يجوز أن يكون في البيت، ومن العلماء الكبار من كان يطلع إلى خطب الجمعة فبدل أن يقول التلفزيون يقول المفسديون. هذا التخلف حقيقة والانهزامية، أن هذا سوف يضر بأخلاقنا، أن هذا سوف يغير أخلاق أولادنا. لماذا لا يكون هو وسيلة لتعزيز أخلاقنا ولترسيخ القيم عند أبنائنا ولنقل قيمنا إلى الآخرين؟ دائما ننظر بانهزامية، وهذا من أخطائنا ومن معوقات استفادة من هذه الوسائل. كذلك عدم توفر المواد الصالحة، يعني هنالك تحرير خاص بهذه الوسائل التقنية، تحتاج إلى تحرير خاص. وكما يعرف الطلاب في كلية الإعلام يعرفون أن هنالك تحرير من أجل العين، كتابة من أجل العين، وهنالك كتابة من أجل الأذن. ولذلك ينبغي أن تكون المادة مادة مقشرة أو مغلفة بحيث تصلح لأن تكون في الوسائل التقنية، يقرأها المطلع عليها فيجد أن هذه المادة مادة شيقة وجاذبة، وبعد ذلك يتفاعل معها. كذلك التباس بعض المفاهيم عند كثير من المسلمين من يرى أن هذه التقنيات بدعة. بعض الناس يرى مفهوم البدعة عنده أن هذه تشملها، كلمة البدعة تشمل التقنيات الحديثة. وأذكر أن أحد العلماء وقف يتكلم باللاقط الصوتي، فقام رجل وقال له هذه بدعة، كيف تتكلم بالميكروفون؟ هكذا وصلت الحالة عند كثير من المسلمين، تتكلم بالميكروفون هذه بدعة. فالشيخ رحمة الله عليه كان من العلماء الكبار، نظر إليه فوجده يضع النظارة على عينه، فأخذ منه النظارة وقال هذه النظارة لماذا تضعها على عينيك؟ قال لأنها تكبر لي الحروف فأقرأ القرآن. قال هذه تكبر لك الحروف وتقرأ القرآن، وهذا يكبر لي الصوت فأسمع الناس كلام الله. فهذه تكبر الحروف وهذا يكبر الصوت، ولا فرق بينهما. ولذلك نقول هذه المفاهيم عند كثير من المسلمين تختل، ولذلك يكون هنالك تخلف في استعمال هذه الوسائل. كذلك النشر غير الدقيق، يعني كثير من الناس إذا وجد كلاما في الدين نشره هكذا، وهذا النشر غير الدقيق جعل هنالك ضخ لمعلومات غير صحيحة عن الإسلام، مما عاد بنتائج سلبية. كل من وجد حديثا موضوعا أو مقولة رائجة نسبها إلى الإسلام، نسبها إلى نبي الإسلام، وخذ ينشرها. هذا النشر غير الدقيق ربما يضر كثيرا بقيم الإسلام وبرسالة الإسلام. نقول هنالك معوقات أيضا خارجية، ومن المعوقات الخارجية قضية الاختراق، يعني هنالك قضية الأمر السبراني، يعني كثير جدا من المحتويات يمكن أن تخترق، أن تزيف، أن تحرف. فهذه من الأشياء التي يمكن أن تكون يعني معيق لنشر هذه المواد الإسلامية والقيم الإسلامية عبر الوسائل الحديثة. كذلك قضية التحكم، يعني هنالك بعض المنصات تتحكم في المحتوى، وأيضا هذا يمكن أن يكون معيق في قضية النشر عبر هذه التقنيات الحديثة. ختاما أقول هنالك توصيات لا بد أن نرعاها حتى نستطيع أن نتجاوز هذه المعوقات. التوصية الأولى إقامة الدورات التدريسية، يعني لا بد أن نقيم دورات تدريبية للمسلمين بصفة عامة، طلابا حتى العامة من الناس، يعني الدعاة والعلماء، نعطيهم دورات وجرعات بحيث يستطيعون التعامل مع هذه الوسائل الحديثة. كذلك إنشاء مؤسسات ومنصات رقمية تعنى بالنشر العلمي في الجامعات، يكون هنالك منصة علمية. كذلك المراكز البحثية، هذه المنصات الخاصة تمكننا من أن نتصرف وأن نعمل بحرية. توعية المسلمين بأهمية التقنية، يعني نعرف أن خطب الجمعة كثيرا ما تكون مثلا عن بر الوالدين أو عن فضل صلاة الجماعة، هذه أمور مهمة، ولكن لماذا لا تكون خطب الجمعة عن أهمية التغنية الحديثة في زماننا وللمسلم على وجه الخصوص؟ يعني يمكن أن يكون هذا موضوع من مواضيع المحاضرات الدينية في المساجد والخطب التي تلقى في الجمعة. كذلك تحديث المحتوى بشكل مستمر، لا بد من تحديث المحتوى وتجديده والمواكبة والمعاصرة، هذا أمر مهم جدا. كذلك حماية المحتوى بواسطة التقنيات والبرامج، برامج الأمر السبراني والتشفير، لا بد من حماية هذه المحتويات. والكثير جدا من المهندسين والعاملين في هذا المجال يمكن أن يصمموا برامج تكون يعني مصدر أمان للمعلومة حتى يتلقاها المتلقي من غير تشويش. كذلك التوعية بمخاطر عدم التدقيق في المحتوى. الكلمة أمانة، وإذا نشرتها ربما بقيت سنين وأنت في قبرك إذا كانت هذه العبارة أو هذه الجملة أو هذه المعلومة معلومة مشوهة، يمكن أن يلحقك الإثم حتى وأنت في قبرك. ولذلك النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام قال: من كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. لذلك نحرص حرصا عظيما على أن ننبه الناس على أن لا ينشروا إلا بعد تدقيق وتمحيص. وكذلك ينبغي الاستفادة من الأموال المسلمين، يعني رجال الأموال الأعمال ينبغي لهم أن يحرصوا على أن يخوضوا هذا المجال، مجال التغنية، جلبها إلى بلاد المسلمين، تدريب المسلمين عليها، إنشاء الوسائل الحديثة التي تنقل هذا العلم وتنقل هذا الدين عبر هذه التقنيات. وهذه من الأشياء التي تعد صدقة جارية، تعد صدقة جارية. كذلك تشجيع الطلاب والعناية بالمشاريع التخرج، سواء كانت هذه المشاريع مشاريع يعني في البكالوريوس أو في الماجستير أو في الدكتوراه، الرسائل العلمية المتعلقة بالتقنية لا بد من العناية بها وتنفيذها وجعلها على أرض الواقع شيئا ملموسا يستفيد المسلمون منه. كثير جدا من الطلاب عندهم مشاريع جميلة وبرامج صممت جيدة، ولكنها لم تجد العناية ولم تجد الدعم، فماتت وظلت في أضابير المكتبات. ولذلك الحرص على إخراجها إلى الحياة وبذل الأموال والتشجيع على ذلك ورصد الجوائز، كل ذلك من الأشياء التي تعين وتجعل هذه التقنية الحديثة منتشرة بين المسلمين وتجعلها في خدمة هذا الدين. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعلنا من العاملين الناصحين لدينه سبحانه وعز، وأسأله سبحانه وتعالى أن يعزز هذه القيم في قلوبنا وفي قلوب الأجيال، وأسأله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعلنا في هذا اللقاء ميمونين ومباركين. وشكرا لكم على استماعكم، وأستعفي إن أطلت قليلا، وجزاكم الله خيرا، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Dr. Marwan, for outstanding presentation. Before I hand over to Dr. Akmal in Malaysia, please, our audience and with committee and the principal, take a photo first with Prof. Jamil and also with Dr. Marwan, please. Yeah.
wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and very good morning. Honorable Rector, speakers, the organizers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's come back to the topic of the discussion today. Well, my talk, I will not refer to the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint might be a little bit different from what I'm going to say. So you can keep it as a reference later. No need to go through page by page. The topic of the discussion is about the inculcation of Islamic values and into technology. Well, let's discuss the word inculcation. Inculcation meaning that you want to change the behavior of a person so that it becomes a better person adhering to the values. People will not change unless we change what they believe in. The behavior of a person depends on what he believes. If we change his belief system, the behavior will change automatically or accordingly. And therefore, I would like to talk about belief system. In Islam, as well as in philosophy, philosophy deals with uluhiyat or divinity, deals with God, number one. Number two, it deals with value system, good, bad, trust, praiseworthy action, blameworthy action. And the third one is about natural world. These are the subject or the area that philosophers discuss. Similarly, Islam deals with these issues, and we name it as aqidah. The belief system, we call it aqidah, consisting of mafahim or concepts and afkar and ideas related to God, related to the Creator, related to the sifat or the attributes of the Creator. These are the topic that is so important because without a strong belief, strong conviction, a person will have no integrity because what they behave is according to their whims and fancy, according to what benefit them or what will harm them, rather than sticking to the concept and belief. Now we in Islam consider aqidah as the most important aspect because to be aqidah, it has to be definitive. It cannot be conjecture. It has to be qat'i, definitive. Qat'i thubut, qat'i dalala, definitive in terms of text, definitive in terms of the meaning. If they are doubtful, we will not accept them. Islam, because simply there are evidences and proof beyond the slightest doubt that Islam is the correct religion, the correct concept. What are the proofs? The question is, what are the proofs? There are countless number of proofs in Al-Quran itself. When we talk about Al-Quran, there are two terms here. Al-Quran, qara'a, it means reads, reading. Al-Quran. So what we read, what we recite is Al-Quran. And the other aspect is what is written, Al-Mushaf. Uh, ذلك الكتاب ذلك الكتاب ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب الكتاب كتب, meaning that writing, write. So what is written is also Al-Quran, yeah, Mushaf. What is written as different from what is read. Quran, when we study the way people read Quran, we find that there are many different ways of reading Al-Quran. At least nine qira'at, different ways of reading Al-Quran. People in North Africa or the West Africa, they read Al-Quran differently from people in Malaysia, for example. Yeah, a little bit different, not much different. And when we talk about Al-Kitab, the written part of Al-Quran, the written of Al-Quran, written book, we find that there are differences, at least four differences. And the way the Al-Quran is written is different from the language of Arabic. The Arabic language is written a little bit different from Al-Quran. For example, uh, as-salah, zakah, sometimes the way it's written is different from the way the normal Arab person writes. And not only that, some words in Al-Quran are different from one chapter to another. For example, Ibrahim, 15 times the word Ibrahim in Surah Al-Baqarah, there is no ya. Ibrahim, alif, bara, alif, ha, mim. Whereas in other parts, you have ya there. Nothing wrong with that, but those are in fact miracles of Al-Quran, a'jaz al-Quran, miracle of Al-Quran. The way it is written, if you study carefully, if you with the use of computer of today, you can make calculations, the numerical analysis of Al-Quran, you'll find that there are lots of miracles, lots of secret in those writing, and those written Quran, which are different from one from at least there are four different types. All of those different from the normal Arabic what we call language. These are the miracles or ajaz which prove beyond the slightest doubt, beyond doubt, that Al-Quran is from the creator of this universe, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No human being or malaikat or jinn or whoever can reproduce such a book or a chapter like Al-Quran. The Orientalists, they say that there are a lot of mistakes in Al-Quran because the way it is written is wrong. Ibrahim, there is no ya. And sometimes, you know, if you compare with the normal Arabic language, it's different. So they say that it is wrong. There are a lot of mistakes. But the truth is that there are so many miracles, so many proof beyond the slightest doubt. And therefore, in terms of the text, الثبوت is قطعي. It is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Quran. And in terms of the meaning, well, some of the ayat, they have definitive meaning, whereas other ayat, there is not definitive in terms of meaning. But to be called aqidah or belief, it has to be definitive, both in terms of meaning and also the text itself. And the text which is definitive, not only Al-Quran, but also Hadith, not all the hadith, but especially hadith mutawatir, which uh, which is beyond doubt that they come from our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm telling you all this because it relates to the way that we will understand the value system later on, and it is related to the way we understand the technology, the use of technology, and so on, which I will come to it later in my talk. So it's very, very important indeed that we understand that in Islam there are something which is qat'i, beyond doubt. Nobody can dispute, nobody can say no, nobody can disagree. Whereas there are other parts, other other subjects or other topics in Islam which are not definitive. That's why we have so many different madhab or madahib, so different ulama giving different fatwa, different understanding, because they are not definitive, they are not qat'i. And there is no problem with that. I'm stressing these issues because these are the basis or the foundation of the way we understand, the way we analyze, the way we measure, the way we check and balance the understanding, the hukum, ahkam, the systems bring or brought forward to us or encountered by us later on in life. Without this strong understanding, strong belief, strong conviction, we will be swayed, will be influenced by so many different uh, type of ism or philosophies later on. Right, let's go to uh, the second topic, which is about the value system. The first one I mentioned about the belief. The belief, which I just said just now, has nothing to do with action. It's just belief. You understand it, it becomes your concept, and then you believe in it, and it should affect your behavior, should mold your behavior. But how to behave then? How to behave? To behave in accordance with the teaching of Islam, we have to understand Al-Quran and Sunnah. Those texts give us guidance as to how to uh, gauge, how to um, give values to actions. Any action of human being, some ulama say that it has no value. I mean, killing, for example, yeah? Killing. You can kill millions of people, maybe not millions, sorry, too many. You can kill hundreds of people. Of course, one person might attribute to that killing as bad, whereas the other person said it is good. Look at the khair ummah ukhrijat linnas. Look at the best ummah of mankind ever been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are our sahaba of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ashabul Rasul. Some people say that there were 150,000 of them. You know how many of them died as shaheed, as shuhada in the war? So they were killers. They were killers. So if you say killing is bad, how come? The khayra ummah ukhrijat linnas were killers. You know, the first war, Badr, in Badr, uh, Sahaba, Ashab Rasul, kill a lot of Quraysh. Right? So out of 140,000, 80% of them died as shaheed, or about 119,000. Not a small number. Whereas among the top leaders, Al-Qiyada, about 60% of them died. And today, of course, today's war, the Qiyada, the leaders will not die. They just stay in a room, in a conditioned room. And therefore, it is obvious that killing, as an example of an action, has no value, intrinsic value, has no intrinsic value. The same killing is painted as good by one person, and it is painted as bad by the other person, depending of what they believe. A Muslim during the battle of Uhud or Badr, a Muslim will say that killing of Kuffar Quraysh who attack Muslim as good, whereas the Quraysh said that it is bad because they are killed. They were being killed. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is that the conviction, the belief that we have, and then the understanding that we have toward the Sharia give us tools, give us ways to paint, to give colors as black or white, or red or pink, or yellow or green to any action. These colors can be corresponding to wajib or haram, or makruh or sunnah, or mubah. There are five of them. Yeah, five of them. There is no single action. There is no single action which does not fall into these five categories. No single action of human being which does not fall into one of these five categories, which is wajib, haram, sunnah, or makruh, or mubah. All these are the categories assigned to us by our Sharia. And Sharia, when we talk about Sharia, they are based on based on evidences which are not 100% uh, definitive. They are not 100% definitive, and that's why you have different understanding among ulama, among madhahib. Some say it is haram, the other might say it is not haram, and so on and so forth. And we should not take it as a big issue, because everyone ijtihad based on the Quran and Sunnah itself, guided by their knowledge of the language, the knowledge um, of the grammar, usul, and so on and so forth. Nothing to worry, because that's the way Allah created His ibad, or his uh, his creatures. Okay. Now let's talk about number. Well, we talk about um, Sharia as guidance for us to consider whether such action is good or bad. And we believe in such Sharia. We adhere to Sharia. We adhere to the rule of Sharia. Why? Because we believe in Islam. Why do we believe in Islam? Because it is proven beyond the slightest doubt, as I mentioned earlier, that Al-Quran is from Allah, and nobody can create such a book called Al-Quran. And of course, you can Google, you can find hundreds and thousands of miracle of Al-Quran to prove to you that Al-Quran is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whereas in terms of Sharia, similarly, you can Google, you can ask ulama different opinions about different action, about actions, whether it is halal or haram and so on. And of course, if they have evidences to show you to back up it what with what they claim, it will be very good. If you can understand the references, that would be better for you rather than to follow blindly, yeah, because the ummah is so stagnated, so backward.
Jangan buang dia punya container, isi sambal, tambah kicap, pisang, kulit pisang.
Okay. Any issues?
I think, why?
Now we talk about,
No more deferment.
apart from Sharia, the last part among the three, we call it natural world. Natural world, the philosophers try to theorize, to understand how this universe works, how this world functions. When they see the sky is blue, the sun is hot, when they can hear something, they can see something, they will try to understand why is that the sky blue, the color of sky is blue, why the flower is red, and so on and so forth. These are the work of the philosophers. And later on, the Muslims, al-mutakallimun especially, uh, I'm not talking about theology, I'm not talking about theology, yeah, ilmu aqidah. I'm talking about scientific knowledge. The ulama of mutakallimun, especially Mu'tazilah, also Ash'aira, they have gone into very detail of research, understanding about the working of this universe, the working of the earth, the working of um, stars and moon, and so on and so forth. And they base their understanding on ayat of Al-Quran. And you can see even today, they are finding, you can read their books, they are finding, even today, they are still very, very relevant, very relevant. The Western scholars could not answer many questions, philosophical questions about the function of this universe based on physical theories. They could not understand, whereas the ulama of the past already gave gave very good explanation. You know, even 1,000 years ago, they have given very good explanation. If you look at many hundred years ago, many centuries ago, the philosophers and also Muslim, of course, started to make experiment to observe this universe rather than base their understanding on aql, on on the intellectual capabilities alone, intellectual exercise alone. But they started to observe nature, and Muslim started to build, for example, a telescope and many other instruments to understand the working of this universe. And later on, natural philosophy changed to physics. That's why we have now physics department in a university, in any university. 200 years ago, there were no department of physics. In England, for example, Oxford, Cambridge, 100 years ago, they call it natural philosophy department. Okay. Now, when they observe the function of this universe, of the world, of the earth, they manage to utilize the behavior of uh, matters, utilize it and make them tools. This is technology. Yeah, they make tools. For example, they make what we call this machine gun, or they make um, we call steam engine, and they make steam engines, and they make later on engine powered by petroleum, powered by diesel, and so on and so forth. This era we call it classical era. So in science we call it classical science or classical physics. In classical physics, this world, this universe function like a clock. It moves like a clock, to the extent that the scientists in those days, 100 years ago, believe that they know everything about this universe. They know everything. They know when the moon will appear. They know when solar eclipse will appear. They know so many things. If they throw an arrow or a bomb, when it will fall, where it will fall. Okay? This philosophical implication is so great to the extent that they say there is no God, no God to play any role. Why should we have God? Because this universe will function deterministically, deterministically, localistically, you know, and with precision. They can calculate when the moon will appear 1,000 years from now. Even 1 million years from now, they can predict with certainty, precise. Okay? And the star will appear when and where with precision. There is no place for God anymore. That's why last century was the century of the death of God in the West. God, no role to play. They start to be secular. People start to go away from religion, to leave religion. But then 100 years ago, when people try to understand atoms, try to understand small matter, they discovered that classical science, classical physics did not work, or could not explain how atom behave, how electron behave, could not explain. And therefore there emerged modern science. We call it modern physics, and some people term it as quantum physics. This theory, this theory is so important, and the theory is the basis of all new technological advancements of today. With the understanding of how atom works, people started to, to use the knowledge to create new technologies, new tools, such as transistors, transistors, diodes, and so on, lasers, and so on. From transistor, they can create amplifier, or they call it flip-flop amplifier. And then this flip-flop amplifier create the digits 1 and 0, 1 and 0. And with understanding of Boolean algebra and many other things, they can create a computer. First calculator and then computer. And from with the advancement of technology, they can create IC, integrated circuits, and later on they created a more powerful computer. And from more powerful computer, they created more storage. And now you have data centers all over the world, mostly in cold countries like Norway, because you can cool it with the cold water. And we have so also in Malaysia, this data center, big data, they store all the data that you created. If you click Google, one click, it will go to that data. It will store there. If you send one picture, the picture will go to that data center, you know, anywhere in the world. Yeah. And with data center, so much, so much of information inside there, then you can create artificial intelligence using all those data, yeah, to create a new understanding of how things behave. You know, if you ask about Islam, it will go to the big data and search. The search engine will find where is information about Islam, and it will just give back to you. So therefore, artificial intelligence is just giving you back what you stored in the data center. They cannot create something new, but rather they just compile and give you what they have there. It looks as if they are so intelligent, but in fact, it's just based on what we already gave them. I don't know how much time I have. I forgot to see the clock now. Anyway, this technological advancement based on quantum theory that created so much um, uh, uh, so powerful computer and so on will change the way we look at the way we solve our problem. The problem is that if the information given are wrong information, it's wrong information and bad information. That's why the role, as our earlier speaker mentioned just now, is our job to give good input to the world. Yeah, and not only quantum theory that has changed the way uh, we create tools and technologies. Many other called technologies were based on other different of science, other kind of science, like geology, like chemistry. But chemistry is mostly based on applied physics. Okay, we have to understand that many of young people today have neglected Islam or uh, have become murtad. Many of young people today become murtad or left Islam, become secular, do not believe in God, do not believe in Islam anymore. Why? Many of them say that Islam contradicts science. Islam contradicts science. This is what they say. And I have encountered some of them. Some of them have invited me to give talk, to debate, to discuss. Uh, they say that Islam contradicts scientific discoveries. And it is very important for us to explain in such a way that they understand Islam never ever contradict scientific discoveries, because both nature and Islam come from the same source, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll give you some example, yeah, and then I will try to stop within what 5 minutes is okay, 10 minutes. Yeah, how many, Dr. Akmal? How many more minutes I have?
Yes, Professor Tokla, around 7 minutes. Around seven
Okay,
minutes.
I will try to do it quickly. I hope I can.
Yes, yes, Prof.
For example, yeah, there are two main theoretical discoveries which are so profound today that people talk about. Number one, Big Bang theory. Yeah, of course. In Islam, we have in Al-Quran said, awalam yara alladhina kafaru, okay? Anna samawati wal ard kanata ratqa fafataqnahuma waja'alna minal ma'i kulla shay'in hayy afala yu'minun. Quran mentioned about what we call Big Bang theory. The whole universe were joined together and then they were split apart. And then the second part of the ayat said that وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. Life come from water. أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Don't they believe? Life come from water. Now people understand that if you want to look for life, they look for water first in other planet, for example. The other very important theory also, that is the creation of Adam alayhi salam. This is in relation to Darwin theory of evolution. People who study medicine, people who study genetics, people who study biology, people who study about animals, virus, and so on, and bacteria, and so on. They understand about the gene, about the gene in those creatures, yeah, genetic makeup of life. There are chromosomes, there are many other things. They are similar to what we have in human being. So they say that the human being must also uh, come from those animals. They are the product of evolution, human being. Well, just now I mentioned the evolution of the universe. Al-Quran mentioned about the evolution of the universe. الذين إن أولم يرى الذين كفروا أن السماوات والأرض كانتا رتقا. They were joined together and they split apart and they evolved, become stars and moon and earth and so on. This is about physical universe. They evolve, all right? And life, جعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي. From water they evolve, become bacteria, become whatever that we see today, all the animal kingdom. What about human being? When people, I'm not biologist, so I do not know much. I'm just saying to you what I have read, just as a layman. You know, the gene that control fly, a fly, lala, ya, can fly, boleh terbang. The gene that control the wing is similar to the gene that control our arms, the way that we move our arm. So they must come from the same source. This is what they say. So how come you say that, you Muslim, you say that Adam was a special creation, not a product of evolution? Well, most Muslim, I would say, are not happy with Darwinian theory because because of the theoretical or philosophical implication of Darwin theory. The philosophical implication is that animal evolve by itself. No need for God to guide them. It becomes more advanced by itself. This is true not only Darwin theory, it's also true for physics theory, for mathematics, for physics theory, for chemistry theory. The same. You know, if you look at the physics, there is no need for God because there is cause and effect. The gravity is there. You throw something, it will fall down. You know, there is no need for God. If you look at the simple philosophical implication, why should you single out Darwin theory? Why not physics theory? Even more, or at least equally serious. You can Google, you can check. Yeah, I have see. Let's say like Dr. Bassam Jarrar, you know, in Palestine. He is a very good scholar. He Very, very good scholar. I like to listen to his talk, Bassam Jarrar and many others. They say that, not me, please don't say that. They say that there is no single ayat or hadith that contradict evolution, that contradict evolution. Now, as for the evolution of human being, well, most Muslim scholars believe that Adam is special creation, just like Isa is special creation. Inna mathala Isa indallahi kamathali Adam khalaqahu min turab. So the creation of Adam is the same as creation of Isa, according to the ayah. And there are 25 ayat talking about Adam and 25 ayat talking about Isa. And in my paper, I have shown in my what we call PowerPoint, it is shown clearly. Can you see that, Dr. Akmal, the last few pages, ayat Quran about Isa and Adam. What I'm trying to say here that it seems that they are very similar in terms of the creation of Adam and Isa in Al Quran. You can look at my paper, yeah, to the extent that some scholars, Muslim scholars, whether you believe it or not, is your business. Some, yeah, you can go up a little bit before that, the page before that. One more page. Okay, look at that. Inna mathala Isa indallahi kamathali Adam. Inna, one kalimah, one word. Mathala, two word. Isa, three word. The third word. The fourth is inda Adam and indallah. Allah in the number five, and so on. So there are seven words. Seven words. And if you look at Kamathali Adam, there are seven letters, seven huruf, seven ahruf. Kaf, Mim, Tha, Lam, 1, 2, 3, 4. Adam, Alif, Dal, Mim, 3. Total seven letters. Mathala Isa, also seven letters. I hope you follow what I'm saying. Next page, please. And then I will finish up with this. Next page, please. All right. Look at the word Mathala Isa. Seven letters. Mathala Isa. Mim, Tha, Lam, Ain, Yasin, Aleph. Seven letters. Indallah. Seven letters again. Kamathali Adam. Seven letters. Thumma qala lahu. Seven letters. Kun fayakun. Seven letters. Isa. Isa, four letters. Adam, three letters. So Isa and Adam total seven letters. Mathala, Kamathali, also seven letters. Go next one, please. Anyway, what I'm trying to show you here is that it seems that Al Quran is giving us very, very similar or the same number of ayat and huruf, the words as well as the letters when talking about Adam and Isa. Okay? If you look at Al Quran from the beginning till the end, you will find that the ayat talking about Isa, there are 25 of them, and number 7, there are two names together, Isa and Adam. Ayat number 7, Isa and Adam. If you look at ayat talking about Adam, same thing. Number 7 talking about Isa and Adam. Only one ayat talking about Isa and Adam out of 49 ayat. Total 49. 25 and 25 become 49. 25 become 49 because ayat number 7 is mushtarak, counted twice. because they appear twice. So 7 times 7, 49. So 49 is a square root of, or a square of 7. This indicates that the creation of Adam and Isa are more or the same. Ulama say that the same in the way that both are special creation. Both are special creation. This is uh, the same in that way, in that manner. Whereas some other ulama say that the same mean the same, exactly the same. Now don't be shocked when I say this. Some ulama said the same means the same, i.e. both have no father and both have mothers. You know, some ulama said that, like Dr. Bassam Jarrar, one of them, and many others, some others. Isa has got a mother, Maryam. Adam also has a mother, but not a human being, but rather a product of billion of years of evolution until she became sophisticated in terms of hardware. The hardware is completed just like a human being, but the only missing link is the software. The software was not there. The software was given to Adam alayhi salam. So she gave birth to Adam without a father. And then when Adam became 40 years old or so, Adam was given the aqal and became Nabi Allah Adam alayhi salam. This is what's mentioned by Dr. Bassam Jarrar and some others. He said that it is uh, higher in terms of hierarchy if you compare animal with clay, with turab. You know, the creation of God, turab or clay is the lowest, or stone is the lowest. The higher one is trees, trees, and the higher one than trees are animals, and higher even, you know, animal also starting from a simple animal, and then the highest among them is mammal, you know, and Allah selected among these creatures, the best one became the mother of Adam alayhi salam. This is what they say. And that's why they say that you will find that genetically speaking, the blood cell and the muscle, the configuration of human body is not very different from chimpanzee, from monkeys, from orangutan and others. And of course, they don't say that the mother came from monkey, but rather different species altogether. This is what is mentioned. And I'm not here to give you a fatwa. I just want to relate to you, give you the opinions of some scholars. But I believe that no scientific discoveries, truly scientific, that ever contradict the teaching of Al-Quran and teaching of Islam. If there are contradictions, it's because we do not understand Al-Quran, we do not understand because we are still not advanced enough. It takes 1,000 more years, perhaps, or a few hundred more years, perhaps, to become a very advanced, scientifically speaking. Thank you very much. I hope you benefit from my talk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikumussalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you very much to Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Torla bin Hassan for his very interesting and inspiring speech. I have a few questions that I want to ask Professor Dr. Torla. but I will proceed with our last speakers for today. I'm also pretty sure there are a lot of knowledge and experience from Professor Emeritus Dr. Torla that we can grab and apply from it. Now, I should hand this event to our counterparts from UNISNU, Dr. Rifki, to continue with our third speaker for today, Mr. Mazhar Durrani, the CEO of ParallaxNet USA. Mr. Mazhar has recorded his speech for this event. Handed to you, Dr. Rifki.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Amal. And thank you for Professor Emeritus Dr. Tola Hasan for the insight and knowledge. And next speaker is Mr. Mazhar Durrani, a seasoned technology executive with extensive expertise in IT infrastructure, cloud computing, and data center management. He has held key leaders roles, including CEO of Virtalus and OpenV, where he pioneered innovative solutions like hyperconverged infrastructure and StackMax, a cloud management platform that optimizes enterprise IT operation. As COO of the XTX and senior data center manager at MySpace. Yeah, he contribute to value-driven IT solution, disaster recovery, and business continuity. Okay, please welcome the Mr. Mazhar Durrani. Please, the recorded video. Thank you for Mr. Masar Surani. Now it's coming to the question and answer session. On-site participant, on-site participant here, and probably also in Malaysia, you can raise your hand, and microphone will be delivered to you. And for the participant, online participants, you can raise your virtual hand, or maybe you can directly chat in inbox. Okay. Okay, Dr. Amal, probably we do a parallel session right now.
Yes, yes, Dr. Rifki.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, so anyone here and also in the online want to make ask a question to Professor Emeritus Dr. Tola bin Hasan and also to Dr. Marwan, please. Anyone?
May I give the first questions? May I ask the first question, please? I have
Oh.
question from your ITM side.
Oh yeah.
Can I
Okay.
proceed? Okay.
Okay. Next will be
From
Mr.
the
Sukarman. Yeah.
speakers.
Yeah. We have here one here. Okay. Please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This question I would like to ask to Professor Emeritus Dr. Tola. Muslim, in my this question asks, Muslim used to be at the front line or pioneer of scientific findings and innovations. Eh, We have famous Islamic scholars such as Al-Razi, Ibn Sina, Al-Khawarizmi. So based on your knowledge, experience and views, why does Muslim nowadays quite being left behind? Is there any answer to that? So I would like to leave that question to Professor Dr. Tola to answer. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you for the questions. As with any nation, any group of people, you know, civilization rise and fall. Countries become civilized. At some point, it will go down. It depends on the way they behave. Unfortunately, during the Muslim era, during the, I think, Abbasiyah, something like that, in many occasions, so many things that happen in the Muslim Ummah. Examples are, number one, let's say this Mongolian came and they burned millions of books. They killed many scholars. One of the reasons, perhaps. And other reasons are some of the Khalifa, they, uh, they force uh, people to adopt their belief, their way of belief. They imprisoned ulama, let's say, like Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Mazhab Hanbali. Ibn Hanbal, he was imprisoned because he disagreed with certain opinions. So when a government and a government or a ruler force people to follow them, did not give freedom of expression, freedom of inquiring knowledge, that cause problem. And with times, Muslim also were influenced by other philosophies from the East, from Hinduism, from Buddhism, and so on. All these make us retreat backward. Whereas the West, they came to Muslim world, to Cordoba, to Andalusia, to Baghdad. They send their scholar to study there, then they go back and they start doing the research and so on. And we, some of our ulama, believe that dealing with dealing with tools and technologies and agriculture. These are low level according to them. Low level of inquiries. The highest one is Aqidah and Sharia, and this manual job, working with this are considered as a low level type of people. So these are some of the reasons. And then, of course, colonization also play a role. The Western people came here to colonize us and deprive us from doing uh, the learning and the investigation and so on. And the role of ulama also a very big role. When Muslim were conquered by others, let's say um, what's his name, the one that liberated Palestine, what's his name? Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. Yeah? People said that he is from Kurdistan. He's Kurdish. He's not Kurdish. He is a Quraysh. Of course, when a Muslim in those days, they travel all over the world to spread Islam. So of course, he was born in Kurdistan, but he's not ethnically, he's not Kurdish, but he was born there. Okay, these are misconceptions also. I would like to say that the way that he brought back Islam to glory, first by writing, by giving education, by changing the understanding, the ideas, doing da'wah, so that people understood what Islam or what jihad is all about. And it took him 24, 25 years because he could took back Palestine. So first knowledge, yeah, knowledge first. But because some ulama, even today, some ulama of Islam, do not believe that the earth is round. The earth is still flat, and still believe that studying about astrophysics, astronomy, or science may lead to kufr. There are such people. So this also caused us to be backward. As I said, Quran always asks us to ponder, to think, to do research, to understand the universe. When Quran talk about God, always talk about, look at the world, the universe, look at the world, look at the camel, how he was created, look at the sky, you know, always challenge us to do research. But we unfortunately say that no, we just do research in fiqh so that we can fight between ara al madahib and so on. So even today we fought day and night about halal, haram, where is God? God's in the heaven, or in arash, or God is somewhere else. This will lead nowhere, will lead us to nowhere except for more problem, more fragmentation. And this difference of opinion happened thousands of years ago, and it will continue to be like that until the day of judgment. Because people are given akal, and people think differently, people understand differently. As long as what we understand do not contradict the definitive meaning and text of Islam, will be okay. Okay. So I hope I answer you, Dr. Akmal. And as Islam, the same as any other civilization, it will go down, up and down, up and down. One short sentence I want to say is that this is now is the second coming of Islam. The first coming of Islam is from Makkah to Medina, and it spread to all over the world and declined. And now the second coming of Islam, and the final one will be in Baitul Maqdis in Palestine. Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-harami ila al-masjid al-aqsa. Islam start from Masjid Haram and will end at Masjid al-Aqsa. Okay, so Masjid al-Aqsa will be conquered by Muslim, and it will be the capital of Muslim till the end of the world, till the end of the world. It is coming soon. coming soon. And don't tell me that Imam Mahdi will come and help us, because Imam Mahdi's job, he come here only for 6 7 years. His job is to bring Muslim Ummah to the pinnacle, to the top, to the top. So by that time, we are already, by that time, by the time he comes, we are already almost at the top. We are perhaps 80% already. He come down within 6 7 years. He take us from 80% to 100%, right? To 100%. So that Islam will prove to the world that it has reached the top. There is a top during the time of Sahaba, and later on Abbasiyah, Umayyah and Abbasiyah reach the top, decline, and now coming to the top again, so that Islam is not a fanciful religion, not a fanciful ideas, not just nostalgia, but it's reality. Okay, so hopefully this is a time that Muslim in Indonesia, especially Malaysia, also the same. We are reviving, we are learning something new, we are improving ourselves, and that nobody will stop us. Muslim, nobody will stop us. 100 years ago, Muslim was so bad, illiterate. 99% of Muslim are illiterate. Almost 100% know nothing about science and technology, almost nothing. Okay, but the aqidah is still there, sharia is still there, and now we are coming back. The Orientalists, the Westerners thought that they Islam is finished, Islam is over, no more. Islam is over, finished, no more. They colonized Indonesia, Malaysia, everywhere. They destroyed everywhere. Islam will never emerge again. But look at what's happening now. What's what has finished is communism. Will not be revived. Communism finished. It will not come back. But Islam, nobody can stop now. Now, I hope I have answered your question. Thank you very much for the answer.
Thank you very much, Professor
Sorry for the question.
Dato' Dullah. Yeah, you answered brilliantly to my question, Professor. Okay, now I shall hand over to Dr. Rifki for the question from UNISNU side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Akmal. There is someone want to ask. Please mention your name and your affiliation, and the question goes to Dr. Marwan or Professor Emeritus Dr. Torla bin Hasan. Yes.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sukarman from UNISNU Jepara from Indonesia. My question goes to Professor Emeritus Dato Dr. Torla bin Hasan with the interesting topic, Islamic Framework from Science and Technology. My question is, today I heard from Prof. Emeritus Dato Dr. Torla Hasan that said that talk about AI and technology and others. Today, I want to talk about for one of the phenomena of the technology, and in this case is AI and e-commerce. With AI and e-commerce, make our life, make everything easier. But from the Islam perspective, for example, e-commerce. There is dishonesty in commerce, or lies, or maybe gharar potentially occurs in e-commerce. This is based on my own experience. Sometimes we buy goods or items online at marketplace. The good or item on display and different from the goods that they send to us. The question is how to overcome, how to minimize lies or gharar in e-commerce or marketplace from Islam perspective, or maybe from Dr. Torla Hasan perspective. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sukarman. Probably Professor Emeritus Doctor directly want to answer this question.
Thank you for the question. Thank you very much indeed. You know, tools tools in doing business, in doing agriculture, in hospital. These are just tools, and tools are more or less most of the time are value free. You see, e-commerce, the digitization, digital commerce, all these are just tools. But the technology is so new. The technology is so new. People still can give you a lot of problem, and we need more time to develop with the help of AI, with the help of the security and so on, cryptography and many other technology, identifications of things. People can identify us now by looking at our face. Wherever we are, we cannot hide anymore. Yeah, they know not only thumbprint, not only thumbprint, but also the eyes and also our face and so on. This technology is coming, and it will become more advanced. And I hope that in the future, the gharar, the cheating will be reduced. When the technology become more advanced. Yeah, and now I think we are like if compared with a human being, we are now at the stage of crawling only, not yet walking, not yet walking. I'm sure within less than 10 years from now is a big difference from what we see today. The technology, digital technology is coming, is changing in every 6 months. Every 6 months change, just like 100 years if compared to other technology. You know, uh, the explosions of ideas and data and all that is so huge. Now data center use 1% energy. The world energy, the energy that we produce in the world, electricity that we produce in the world, used by data center, percent. In the next year or so, it will be 7%. Will be 7%, and more, because huge data center will be created, will be established, and with the help of technology, e-commerce will be, I hope, yeah, will be more secure. And Islam, of course, will not. We cannot say it is haram. I don't know. We have to look at madhab also. Madhab Shafi'i, very difficult. Shafi'i, very difficult to do commerce. So people accept madhab Hanafi, I think. It's mu'atah. Rather than, kalau if Shafi'i, you have to do akad, you have to see the things. Even riba must be akad riba. Without akad, it's not riba. But it is aklul mal, mal haram. You take money or wealth. It's not riba, but the term is not riba. Okay, riba just like nikah. You must akad. In akad there is riba. So Shafi is very strict. You have to look at the akad. Whereas Hanafi is loosely, more flexible, and in this case, maybe you have to do new ijtihad, if not Hanafi. Wallahu alam. I'm not expert in that area. Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Thank you, Professor, for your answers. Dr. Sukarman want to ask more question? Enough. Okay. Okay, thank you. Anyone here on site? Oh, okay. Please come. And then after this, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce to me, my name is Arifin from UNISNU, from Indonesia, the honorable speaker. I think it's simple question related to inculcation Islamic value into technology. Okay, we have Adagium, the man behind the gun. I think this technology is same the guns. Depends on person to use. So, what is the avoid the negative impact of technology, and how to technology can influence Islamic value to support our with life, yeah, until after life or to akhirat. Yeah. To Dr. Marwan, كيف يمكن مفيدة teknologi مفيدة لحياتنا إلى الآخرة. I think it's enough. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. شكرا جزيلا على هذا السؤال. وقد ورد عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال: إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع عمله إلا من ثلاث: صدقة جارية، أو علم ينتفع به، أو ولد صالح يدعو له. فعندما ينشئ الإنسان موقعا ويبث فيه القيم الإسلامية، حتى لو خرج من هذه الدنيا فإن هذا الموقع ينفع العالم وينفع الناس بهذه العلوم. فهو قد انتقل إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى، ولكن بقي الأجر والثواب كلما استفاد الناس من هذه المنصة التي أنشأها أو هذا الموقع الذي أسسه. وبهذا يكون من العلم النافع الذي يصل ثوابه للإنسان بعد موته. ومن هذا الباب فإن الله سبحانه وتعالى بهذه التقنيات قد فتح لنا بابا للأجور الدائمة إن شاء الله. نعم، إذا أحسننا استخدامها، وإذا فكرنا حقيقة في الاستثمار حتى بعد الموت، الاستثمار الأخروي يعني. نعم، أرجو أن يكون كلامي واضحا. السلام عليكم.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nur Arifin, for the question. Is it enough for you, or you want to ask more? Okay, shukran. Okay, for the next, yeah, you want to ask a question, right? Yeah, okay, please. Mention your name, affiliation, and who the question to.
Okay, first, the honorable speakers and all of the committee, thanks for the opportunity. My name is Wahim Maulana from Informatics Engineering Study Program. I would like to ask a question, and please forgive me if my English is not perfect. The question is, what first steps can Muslim youth take to combine religious values with technological innovation? To Dr. Marwan or Professor Emeritus Dr. Torla Hasan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. So, probably to Professor Emeritus Dato, first you want to ask the you want to answer the question, and then Dr. Marwan will. Please.
I think I hope I understand the question correctly. The question is about how to what? How to make sure that
As
we
younger, yeah. As
how to yeah. Okay. I think number one, every one of us must form within us shakhsiyah Islamiyah, or Islamic personality. If we have Islamic personality, we will behave like a good Muslim. We will think like a good Muslim. We will act like a good Muslim in whatever that we do. Okay. So even behind the scene, even in a room alone, yeah, you still behave like a Muslim, a good Muslim, because you have formed in yourself Islamic personality. What do I mean by Islamic personality? Islamic personality is someone who think like a good Muslim. Aqliyatul Islamiyah. You know, the mind is Islamic mind. The mind, the paradigm is Islamic paradigm. The outlook is Islamic outlook. And he think like an Islamic thinkers. His brain, his intellect is Islamic. Not only that, his heart, his emotion, his heart must be Islamic as well. Ash-shu'ur, hadith, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yakuna hawahu tab'an lima ji'tu bih." Not complete iman. Someone whose inclination, whose inclination or whose heart does not does not um, does not believe or does not behave like what I brought, like the Sunnah, like Wahyu, does not or are not in accordance with the teaching of the Prophet. If the heart, I mean, if he likes what Islam likes, that's fine. If he loves what Islam loves, that's fine. But if he loves riba, if he loves gambling, that is very, very sad indeed, because his heart is not with Islamic, is not in accordance with Islamic teaching. So the love and the hate in the heart must be in accordance with Islamic teaching. The heart, the mind, the intellect also must be in accordance with Islamic teaching. And the intellect or the mind follow Islamic teaching and the heart follow Islamic teaching, both together will form Islamic personality. This Islamic personality with high integrity, of course, will be with high integrity, will not be corrupted, will not be corrupted by money or by whatever, yeah, by whatever the seduction. So he will be a strong personality. All right. And then to inculcate that, to instill that in the mind and the hearts of Muslim young people like you, yeah, you have to practice it, not just by just listening and learning, but you have to practice. By practicing and by doing things, you will form yourself a good behavior, a good personality, inshallah. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Professor, for the answers. And then next, Dr. Mawar will answer also the same question. Yeah.
طيب يمكن أن يضاف إلى هذا أن الشباب هم الطاقة الحية في المجتمع. في أي مجتمع الشباب هم الطاقة القصوى الكبرى في أي مجتمع، وكذلك في المجتمعات الإسلامية، فهي ليست استثناء من المجتمعات الإنسانية. وكثير جدا من الشباب ولجوا إلى حقل التقانة، والتقانة فيها هذه الكلمة التي تدل على قضية الإتقان والإحسان والتجويد. والله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه كثيرا ما يأمرنا بالإتقان والإحسان. الله عز وجل يريد منا العمل ليس الأكثر وإنما الأحسن ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. والشباب عندهم الطاقة الذهنية والبدنية للإتقان والتجويد والإحسان، ومن هنا يجب عليهم أن يتقنوا هذا العلم، أن يتقنوا هذه المخترعات الجديدة، أن يحسنوا من دور الأمة ومن أداء الأمة ومن كسب الأمة في هذا المجال. أذكر قصيدة لأحد الشعراء المصريين يتكلم فيها عن التلفاز المرئي باللغة العربية. يقول: إلى جانب المرئي أمضيت ليلتي فلا تسألني كيف قضيت سهرتي، لقد طفت بالدنيا وصاحبت أهلها، وحدثني أقطابها رقم وحدتي، ولو كان كل الأمر لحنا وصورة ما قنعت نفسي بلحن وصورتي، ولكنه الكون الكبير أروده، وإني لفي بيتي وفي ظل غرفتي، تنقلت في اليابان أرتاد آهلا، وعدت إلى أسوان بعد هنيهتي، ثم يقول أقابل أمجاد الشعوب بما بنت من المجد للدنيا سواعد أمتي. يقول أنا أقارن بين كسبنا كمسلمين وبين كسب الآخرين في مجال التقان والاختراع، فأجد أن البون شاسع. دور الشباب أن يقللوا هذه الفجوة، أن تتلاشى هذه الفجوة بعقول هؤلاء الشباب الذين عليهم أن ينهضوا بهذه الأمة. ولذلك أولا نريد لهم صناعة التقنية، توطين التقنية في بلاد المسلمين، حتى يسمح لنا ذلك بأن نصدرها ونصدر من خلالها القيم، وأن لا نكون فقط مفعول به منصوب. نحن نريد أن نكون فاعلين، نريد أن نكون منتجين. قصرنا كثيرا، سبقتنا الأمم كثيرا، ولذلك دور الشباب أن يسابقوا الأمم وأن يلحقوا بالركب وأن يرفعوا وينهضوا بالأمة. فأسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن ييسر ذلك على أيديكم إن شاء الله، وأنتم من الشباب المخاطبين بهذه الوصية وبهذه الغاية العظيمة التي نطمح إليها جميعا نحن كمسلمين.
Okay, thank you. Anyone here and online probably want to ask question? For online, please directly chat on the box, or maybe you can raise your hand to directly talk to the speakers. Anyone? Okay, please here on site also.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Halitin Eri Kurniawan. I am from the Student Executive Board of UNISNU JEPARA. So, I would like to ask a question for Dr. Marwan Muhammad bin Abu Bakar and for Prof. Emeritus Dato Dr. Torla bin Hasan. So, like Dr. Sukarman said before, the technology includes the AI, the artificial intelligence is useful for us, for humans, for students also, to help our works, to help our study. But the artificial intelligence is kind of tricky, you know, like, because it is a machine learning, because the information itself that in the artificial intelligence is from the information that been asked in it. So how do you filter the informations that came out from the artificial intelligence? Because no one will be responsible for the information. No one will be the main source for the artificial intelligence. Or maybe we should make our version of artificial intelligence the Muslim version or the Sharia version, because, you know, like, maybe our children or the next generation of Muslims will ask questions like, how do I pray? How do I do wudu or anything? So maybe from Prof. Torla and Dr. Marwan could answer the questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam warahmatullah. Thank you for the question. Please, Professor Emeritus, you can answer the question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You see, artificial intelligence is just a tool. You cannot rely on it 100%. You still have to use your own mind, you know, your understanding of Islam, of life. You know, you have to have a basic understanding of your religion and all other issues. Even scientifically, you have to understand what is real science, what is pseudoscience. You know, artificial AI, artificial intelligence is just like any other tool, can be used for good or for bad. Okay, and the information that came out can be wrong, can be right. You know, you can Google, you can ask by yourself, ask about anything. You know, sometimes it gives you wrong answer, so you have to filter it out, what is right, what is wrong. um, I even yesterday I asked about Indonesia. I asked about economic growth of Indonesia, for example. He gave me a lot of information. I said, no, I just want to look at the graphic representation. So he gave me, but I don't think that they are right, you know. So to 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 be more confident, you have to ask for reference. You have to ask AI for reference. You give it, it gives you information from where. You have to ask. If you ask them Al-Quran, which ayat, it will give you the ayat, and you have to check again the tafsir of that ayat from different sources. So you have to check everything that you hear, you see. Fatabayyanu, fatabayyanu. Al-Quran asks you to tabayyun. So don't just rely on what people say, what people, especially AI, because AI is just machine, can be abused. Even if your professor tell you something, your your alim, your chef tell you something, you have to check again. Don't rely on one person. This is not Islamic way. Islamic teaching asks you to tabayyun, to ask for reference, to ask for evidence. Because when you die later on, in Yawm al-Qiyamah later on, you will be alone. You cannot say that because of AI I do this, or because of that alim I do this. You know, your role is equally important. Your own person is equally important. So equip yourself with good knowledge, yeah, with good knowledge from good source of knowledge. Knowledge can come from shaitan, can come from malaika, can come from anywhere. So huge, so huge. The data, the information is so huge. So how can you make sense of those information? You cannot rely on AI, but AI is very important. You should always rely on, ask AI. Ask AI to give you whatever you want. Whatever you think in your mind, ask AI. Okay? All spectrum that that you need to know, you ask AI. But then use your own intellect to decide whether they are sensible or not. Thank you. Very good question indeed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Now, Dr. Marwan.
طيب، بالنسبة للسؤال عن كيف نتلقى من الوسائط الحديثة، الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول في كتابه: فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. قال العلماء هذه الآية دليل على أنه يحرم أن يستفتي الإنسان في أمور الدين من ليس أهلا للفتوى. يحرم أن يستفتي الإنسان في أمور الدين من ليس أهلا للفتوى. والحمد لله هنالك أعلام قد أنشأوا مواقع ولهم أبحاث ولهم وجود في الإنترنت. هنالك مواقع تتلقى الأسئلة، تتلقى الاستشارات، يشرف عليها من الأعلام المعروفين. ولذلك المقلد فرضه أن يقلد من يثق في علمه ويثق في تقاه ودينه، وهذا والحمد لله متوفر. فعلى الإنسان أن لا يسأل وأن لا يستفتي سواء كان عبر الوسائط أو غير الوسائط إلا من يثق في علمه ومن يثق في تدينه. وهذا يعني يلقي بالمسؤولية على السائل، على المتلقي، ويلقي بالمسؤولية على من يلقي في هذه الوسائط من المعلومات. فعليه أن لا يكون مثل المضخة تضخ كل ما يعني يأتيها، لا، وإنما عليه أن يصفي تصفية، عليه أن يقوم بتصفية المعلومات والتحقق منها. ولذلك نقول إذا أراد المسلم أن يتلقى العلم أو يتلقى الفتوى أو يتلقى استشارة ينبغي أن يسأل أهل الاختصاص، وهؤلاء والحمد لله كثر موجودون في كل المواقع الإسلامية. تجد هنالك من العلماء من يشرفون عليها، من يتلقون أسئلة السائلين ويجيبون عليها، من يتلقون كذلك الاستشارات ويفتون فيها ويبثون في هذه الأسئلة. فلا بد للإنسان أن، والآن مثلا أندونيسيا كثير من الأعلام لا شك أن لهم وجود في هذه القنوات وفي هذه المواقع. فاسأل أهل الذكر، اسأل أهل العلم، لأن العلم هو مسؤولية. وكما أنك إذا أردت أمرا من أمور الدنيا فإنك تبحث وتفتش حتى تجد الذي تريد وتجد الشيء الذي تبحث عنه. هذا إذا كان في شأن الدنيا، فمن باب أولى في شأن الآخرة، من باب أولى في شأن الدين. ولذلك لا بد للإنسان أن يطرق أبواب أهل العلم، وهي والحمد لله في هذه الوسائل صارت مفتوحة، لا أقول تقرع أو تطلق، وإنما صارت مفتوحة، وعليه أن يلج وأن ينهل من المعين الصافي. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبارك في جهود الجميع. نعم. قال أطلب شرح قيمة التسامح والتوازن كمثال سلوك توازن يعني يسوداني بعيدا عن سلوك التطرف والتنفير والعداء وغير ذلك. نعم، الإسلام دين متوازن، لا يلغي الذات ولا يذيبها في الآخر، وفي نفس الوقت لا يبني العلاقة مع الآخر على أساس العداء. الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن قال: وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. قال الألوسي في روح المعاني: وتعاونوا أمر للمسلمين. الله سبحانه وتعالى أمرهم أن يتعاونوا، ولكنه لم يحدد لهم من يتعاونون معه، وإنما جعل الأمر عاما. ولذلك المسلم يتعاون حتى مع غير المسلم في البر والتقوى. غير المسلم إذا أراد العدل، إذا أراد القسط، إذا أراد ما فيه خير الإنسانية، على المسلم أن لا يحجم وأن يقول لكونه ليس من المسلمين لا أتعاون معه. فلم يكن هذا منهج النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال عليه الصلاة والسلام: شهدت في دار عبد الله بن جدعان حلفا ما أحب لو أن لي به الدنيا. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام يخبر أنه شهد حلف من أحلاف العرب في الجاهلية قبل الإسلام. يقول عليه الصلاة والسلام: دعيت إليه في الإسلام فأجبت، دعيت إليه في الجاهلية فأجبت، ولو دعيت إليه اليوم في الإسلام لأجيبن. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام يقول الآن لو دعيت إلى هذا الحلف لأجيب. ما في هذا الحلف نصرة المظلوم، إغاثة الملهوف، الوقوف مع الضعيف. هذه القيم قيم الإسلام. ولذلك النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام لم يرى بأسا في أن يجيب من دعا إليها حتى ولو لم يكن مسلما. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى: وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. التعارف ورد فيه 3 أقوال. القول الأول: تعارفوا أن يعرف بعضكم بعضا. ورد تعارفوا أن يبذل المعروف بعضكم لبعض، يعني من المعروف أبذل لغيري المعروف وهو أيضا يبذل لي المعروف. ورد لتعارفوا أي لتتبادلوا المعرفة، فالتعارف من المعرفة العلوم، خلقنا الله تعالى مختلفين ليكون لكل واحد من الناس أو لكل فئة من المجتمع أو من الأمة أو من الإنسانية جهدها العلمي تتبادله مع الفئة الأخرى. وكذلك لنبذل المعروف بعضنا لبعض وليتعرف بعضنا على بعض، وهذا من آيات الله سبحانه وتعالى. ولذلك لا بد من هذا التوازن. ديننا دين يعتز بالإسلام كمنهج، يأمر المسلم أن يعتز بدينه، أن لا يذوب في الآخر، ولكنه لا يبني العلاقة مع الآخر على العداء وعلى الشحناء، وإنما يبني العلاقة على التعاون والتآلف والتسامح والتعايش. وهذا حقيقة فيه توازن، ويظهر فيه توازن الإسلام كأوضح ما يكون. لذلك فعلا نحن محتاجون أن نظهر الإسلام بهذا الجمال، فإن الإسلام دين جمال. الله سبحانه وتعالى يعني يقول فاصفح الصفح الجميل. الصفح الجميل، الصفح قيمة. الله تعالى يقول لكن ليس صفحا عاديا وإنما صفحا جميلا. قال العلماء هو الصفح الذي لا تثريب فيه. ويقول الله سبحانه وتعالى فاصبر صبرا جميلا. الصبر قيمة. الله تعالى يقول صبر وليس أي صبر، صبر جميل. تعالين أمتعكن وأسرحكن سراحا جميلا. السراح هو حالة الانفصال. الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول لا بد أن يكون هذا الانفصال أيضا بجمال، وهو الذي لا ظلم فيه. نعم، أراد الله لنا أن نعيش الجمال في أخلاقنا كما أوجده في كونه سبحانه وتعالى. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح، فبين عز وجل أنه أوجد في هذا الكون الجمال في السماء، ثم بين أنه أوجد الجمال في الأرض، أنبتنا فيها من كل زوج بهيج يعني يسر الناظرين. أوجد الجمال في النبات، انظروا إلى ثمره إذا أثمر وينعي. أوجد الجمال في الحيوان، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى والخيل والبغال والحمير لتركبوها وزينة. قال ولكم فيها جمال حين تريحون وحين تسرحون. أوجد الجمال في الإنسان الذي خلقكم فصوركم فأحسن صوركم. فهذا الجمال ينبغي أن نعيشه ظاهرا وأن نعيشه باطنا، ونحن نترسم ونتنزل أو ننزل هذه القيم في حياتنا، وينبغي لنا أن نعكسه للآخرين. قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام ليعلم أهل الكتاب أن في ديننا فسحة. لما جاء العيد وشاع الفرح في المسلمين قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام مبينا الحكمة الغاية ليعلم أهل الكتاب أن في ديننا فسحة. ولذلك نحن محتاجون إلى أن ننقل هذا الإسلام بهذا الجمال وبهذا التوازن وبهذا التسامح وبهذا التعايش حتى يقبل عليه الآخرون. حقيقة هنالك من أساء إلى الإسلام عبر هذه الوسائط وأشان صورة هذا الدين حتى نفر منه كثير من الناس. ولذلك ينبغي أن تكون الجهود متضاعفة ومتوافرة من أجل تعديل هذه الصورة وتصحيحها ووضعها في حقيقتها ونشر الإسلام كما هو وكما أراده الله سبحانه وتعالى. نعم.
Thank you for Professor Emeritus and Dr. Marwan for the answer. And because the time is limited, I think we are right now in the anyone? Okay, one more, yeah. Okay.
I think this one should be yeah. Okay.
Yeah, one more, doctor. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Agnia Sani from MA Matalipul Huda Melongo. Thank you for the change. I would like to ask to Prof. Emeritus and also Dr. Marwan, What should we prepare as young Muslim generation for facing technology such as augmented reality, artificial intelligence in the future? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And directly, Prof. Emeritus, please.
You see, sister, thank you very much for the questions, very important questions. As a young people living in this current era, you are different from us. You are different from us. You know, during my time, you know, there was just television. Even when I was very young, 70 or more, 60 over years ago, there was no television even. And in this time, during this time, you have explosion of technology or digital technology especially. And for you, as a young person living in this more challenging world, you need to prepare yourself, as you asked just now. To prepare, you need to prepare few things. Number one, language. The language that you have to learn, there are 3 languages that you have to learn. Okay, number one, the mother tongue, the language of Indonesia. You have to understand your own language, right? Number one. Number two, international language. International language, you have to command it very well, because otherwise you will be like in a prison, dalam penjara. Yeah, you cannot communicate with outside world. So international language that we know that you have to learn today, number one, of course, English. English is widely spoken everywhere in the world. You have to know how to read, how to write, how to understand English by practicing. You don't learn English by reading alone. You have to practice it. Like you want to learn how to ride bicycle, yeah? You have to ride bicycle. You want to learn how to swim, you have to swim. If you go to the classroom, people teach you how to swim. After 1 year or even 10 years of learning how to swim in a classroom, you go out, you jump into a river, you will die immediately because you cannot swim. All right. International language, which is English, is very important. Of course, Arabic language is also international language, also important, especially as a Muslim. So as a Muslim, you have to know Arabic to understand Islam better, to understand Al-Quran and Hadith and so on. That's a must. And perhaps the next one is Chinese, because the West is starting to decline, it seems, and they cannot recover. I think not that soon, but you can see that China is coming up. It will overtake the West perhaps in the time to come. So Chinese, Arabic, and English, at least you have to learn. That is the language, and that is language number 2. Yeah. Language number 3 is computer language. Computer language, there is no choice for you to understand, to learn about it. Not just a basic one, but also a more advanced one. You can take courses, short courses. You spend money, no problem. Spend money a little bit. And I hope universities like UNISNU Jepara and UiTM as well pay attention to this language of the computer. When I was young, I learned basic language. I learned Fortran. I learned basic language. But now they have it's been developed so fast. I cannot keep up with it. And also not just the language or the computer, also many what we call different apps that you see today. You have to command, you have to know how to use it. It will help you. Other people may do it in 6 months. You can do it in 6 hours, or 6 hours. You can do it with the help of computer. So you have no choice, but you have to equip yourself with the tools. These are the tools that you need for today, uh, as a student. And for a lecturer, of course, it's even more important for you um, to pay attention to all these new tools. Otherwise, you will be like a dinosaur. Dinosaur, is this thing this thing finish. You have no more value. Nobody will look at you. Nobody will engage you because you are not living in this 21st century where IT is everything. If you do not know how to use certain apps to do research, for example, go to your library. Maybe people in library can teach you how to use it. You know, and don't be shy to ask young people to educate us in this era. Languages are tools. Language here is not just spoken language, but also the language of a computer. Please do it now, not tomorrow. All right. I hope I have answered your question. Thank you.
Okay, Professor, thank you for very interesting answers. Yeah. Next to Dr. Marwan, please you can answer.
السلام عليكم. أولا لابد أن ننبه إلى شيء مهم جدا لشبابنا ولغير شبابنا، أن تعلم اللغة العربية هو الأساس لفهم القيم، هي الأصل، قبل أن نتعلم الإنجليزية التي هي وسيلة لفهم هذه التقنيات. أن نتعلم القيم أولا، لأن القيم هي الأصل، هي التي يراد أن تنقل، هي التي يراد أن تصدر، هي بضاعتنا. ولذلك لا يمكن إطلاقا أن نتعرف على اللغات الأخرى قبل أن نتقن اللغة التي بها كلام ربنا سبحانه وتعالى وكلام رسولنا صلى الله عليه وسلم. فيكون الإنسان يعرف كيف يتعامل مع التقنية، ولكنه لا يعرف الهدف الأساسي من تعلم التقنية. الهدف الأساسي من تعلم التقنية أن نصدر لها وأن نجعلها وسيلة لنقل القيم التي تشربناها بفهمنا لكتاب الله وبسنة النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام، ولا يتأتى هذا إلا بإتقان لغة هذا الكتاب العزيز ولغة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. ولذلك لا بد من وضع خطوط تحت هذا. ثم بالنسبة لتقوية الجيل أمام هذه التقنيات، نعم هنالك مخاطر كثيرة يمكن أن يتعرض لها الجيل وهو يتعرض لهذه الوسائل ولهذه التقنيات، لأن فيها ما فيها، هي فضاء مفتوح وسوق كل يعرض بضاعته. ولذلك هنا يأتي دور الأسرة ويأتي دور المربين. لا بد من ترسيخ هذه القيم حتى إذا انطلق شبابنا في هذا السوق الرائج يستطيع أن يأخذوا منه الثمار ويلقوا الحطب في النار، يأخذ منه المفيد ويدع منه ما لا يفيد. وهذا لا يكون إلا إذا تشبعت النفوس بهذه القيم التي في كتاب الله وفي سنة رسول الله عليه الصلاة والسلام. فيكون إذن الاستثمار فيها استثمار نافع وليس استثمارا ضارا. ومن أجل هذا لا بد من المحاضن الأسرية والمحاضن التربوية، وكذلك لا بد أن يقوم المصلحون والدعاة وأهل العلم بأدوارهم المناطة بهم من أجل تقوية الجيل حتى لا ينهار أمام هذا السوق الواسع الفسيح. أرجو أن يكون في هذا إضافة لما ذكره البروف، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Thank you, Dr. Marwan, and thank you for. Please give applause to all the speakers once again.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Okay.
Shukran jazilan to Dr. Muhammad Marwan. Now distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the saying goes, to every beginning there is an ending. The closing ceremony of the UiTM-UNISNU International Seminar 2024 is coming to an end. On behalf of the co-organizer, thank you for coming and remaining with us during this delightful event. So for the purpose of e-certificate and attendance, please scan the QR code shown in the screen or the link attached in the chat session. Okay. You can scan the QR code shown on the screen. Nampak. Okay. All right. So before we end, we would like everyone who are joining this seminar, online or physical, online, to open your camera for the photography session. Okay. I hope everyone who joined this seminar online can open their camera for the last photography session.
I cannot hear you, Dr. Akmal.
Sorry, my bad. Okay. Oh, I'm mute. Sorry. Okay. Can everyone who are joining this session online to open your camera, please, so we can have the final photography session. Professor Torla or others who are joining this session online. Okay, good. Okay, wait till I count to 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one shot. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and selamat sejahtera. Okay.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Keluar. Ada.
Okay, that's the end of our seminar. Before we end the seminar, I would like to make a conclusion. Please allow me to make a conclusion. Inculcation of Islamic values into technology is important. Here are some aspects to think about. The first is ethical framework. Emphasize the importance of embedding Islamic ethical principles such as integrity, justice, and responsibility in technological advancement is important. The second is inclusivity, and this is very important, like mentioned by Professor Abdul Jamil. Abdul Jamil, he said that encourage using technology to bridge the gap, foster equality, and serve humanity regardless of all background. That's all for the seminar today. Thank you for all that coming directly to the UNISNU Jepara and also for the Malaysia and for online. It's very interesting
Thank you very
seminar.
much.
Yeah, and we
Thank you very
can
much.
see in the next seminar. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Allahumma
Okay,
fiqil
all the
aqwam
best.
tariq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, UiTM-UNISNU Jepara, for the good collaboration session.
Thank you, Dr. Amal.
Most welcome.
Foto Bu, April? Ya, semua peserta ya.